Hey, Basket Brains. Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and I am alongside Ollie Dapina, and welcome to episode 11 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. This is episode 11, the Metapod episode. Famous players to wear the number 11, Mark Messier, Isaiah Thomas, Clay Thompson, and Edgar Martinez. We want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor this week, Baka Bak Fried Chicken. Ollie, what's your favorite menu item at Baka Bak right now?
My favorite menu item is probably going to be I like the buffalo chicken strips tossed in the rub,
Yeah, that's a really good one.
or the BLT chicken sandwich with the strips on there.
Yeah,
One of my go-tos. Yep.
really good one. I have always been in love with, and I realize how much I love the barbecue sandwich there with the ginger slaw on it. No matter what mood I'm in, that hits really hard. And I'm also a huge fan of the lemon pepper rosemary. I think that one's like really nice. It's really like bright and fragrant. Really good. How's your week, bud? How's it going?
It was a good week, long week. Feels like picking up things at Bach, like doing a little more hours, which is nice. So schedule's kind of the free time's thinning out a little bit, and then disc golf's picking up, which is finally feeling really good. Like I talked about how this month was one of my most popular, it's like really busy for me with disc golf, and so had the Legends, the Log Lady last week, got another tournament this weekend, and then going out of the country for tournament the week after that, which I'm really excited for. So a lot of things to look forward to, but a lot of golf on the horizon. I'd say that's coming up.
Cool. Nice. How's Roxy doing?
Doing well, doing well. Her older brother's in town, so we've been hanging out with him, which is awesome. Dante, spending a lot of time doing some late night gaming a little bit, and we had a little LAN party yesterday, so brought all the PCs to one of our friends' house and did a little gaming last night, which was fun. But I got home at an okay time. So
Nice. That's cool, man. Good to hear. My week was pretty chill. Outside of Legend of the Log Lady and kind of getting all that together, which was just a lot of work, but kind of fun to do. We're filming this Tuesday morning. Last night, my wife and I went out to nice dinner. It was our wedding anniversary, so we've officially been married for a full year now, which is crazy. Talking to like Brian and Tex, who was at the tournament this weekend, and kind of being like, yeah, that was a year ago, and everyone's like, whoa, like it's been a quick year kind of thing. So and this also marks the year since I got COVID for the first time. We got COVID like right after our wedding, so kind of a funny little thing there. Yeah, this is also a really fun stretch of disc golf for myself. I played Portland Open a couple weeks ago, so I was up at Glendoveer, followed that with Milo, and then to go to South Fork and do like an alternate layout there. And then, the next 2 weeks I'm going to be at SeaTac and then at Raptors Knoll, which are two of my favorite courses as well. So this is just a really, really good like month and a half to 2 months of disc golf, and it's just a really fun like getting out to a bunch of different courses in that time frame. And a lot of those courses play pretty different from each other as well. So it's kind of testing like all of my skills of disc golf, which is something that I kind of pride myself on. Is that I don't think that I necessarily like only thrive at like golf courses or I only thrive in the woods. I feel like I have a pretty round game. So yeah, just fun to do. We'll get right into Legend of the Log Lady and just kind of talk about that a little bit. Like, Ollie, what were your impressions of the layout and like of the tournament? We had some pretty rough weather, but
yeah, that weather was no joke. I really enjoyed the layout. This tournament from last year was just one of the ones I was like looking forward to a lot on my list. Um, Watching the videos from Laura Palmer last year is also pretty. It wasn't like inclement weather for sure. Like it was a pretty like rainy, cloudy day. Not like Saturday though. Um, but I really enjoyed the layout. I thought it was pretty fun. Like there was a lot of attackable holes. I thought for like the amateurs it was a little harder with like how the weather played out. Like a little less attackable on some of like the holes, I'd say. Like I remember watching I think it was your card teeing off on like hole 2 on the first round where like just seeing a couple of rollers get off and put on the ground, and I was like, I don't think I can throw a roller
yeah,
that good. And so it's like, there's definitely like those skills where it's like, okay, like um these players have been playing longer. They know what to do. They know how to play a little better with that. So it was kind of cool seeing how you guys were playing that. But definitely like played a lot harder, I feel like, because of the rain. And I one of the thoughts was how many strokes differently would this played if I was able to get a couple skips here. There's some ground play here, and but overall, I really enjoyed the layout. I thought it was fun. Not yeah, there was like not too many like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this. I'd say the only maybe like the 18 walk to one was a little hard sometimes, but like that's gonna happen with most things, and like it's not the biggest thing at that. But really enjoyed some of the new holes. I'd say probably my favorite new like alternate hole was probably I liked how 18 was played with the OB bunker. I thought it did add a lot more thought, exactly what we kind of talked about with like this isn't just like a hard par three, but it's like harder now because you actually can't just throw some, like you got to think about that first shot for
Yeah,
sure. And you saw people even miss Mandos trying to be sneaky and creative with that, and you saw like there's things I didn't normally see, so I liked how that created and played through with that. I liked
that's
how, yeah, I thought it was really sweet. I liked how 18 played with like the different options and scores like that, and
mhm.
after talking about it and doing it, I think like that right route was definitely good, but it does create like probably 100 to like 150 more feet, I feel like, of ground you have to cover, which is no joke in the sense of like I'm like starting to like full on mash it, and then like with no ground play, I remember I was like pin high through a destroyer, and I went PD2 destroyer, and I
Yeah,
was like short because I got grabbed up on the grass, but was up kind of on that like plateau area. So
yeah. That was that hole is probably the one that I'm gonna like think about the hardest on how I want to tweak it a little bit, because the bailout to the right was almost like a little too easy to the point where like I was able to go over there and then throw like a mid range or a fairway driver like into the green. Um, when really like I do want people to kind of like go up the middle, and have to kind of contest with like the woods and the OB that's over there. So I don't know. I'm gonna kind of think about what I think is the best option, but it could be as simple as just putting like a Mando left on like one of the furthest trees on the right side there. So it kind of does force people to go up the middle, but like how you want to go up the middle is kind of like up to you. I was also thinking about maybe on that right side over there, like making like a ton of like OB or hazard or something, and making like a really big area OB or hazard. So if you don't like absolutely like kill that drive and throw like a great drive, like you're probably in trouble or something. So
yeah,
um,
I'd say like if you put it up until like where that T pad is and like going up until where that bunker is, if that was just like all OB and you had to like really mash it to get over there, like that could have been it could be a cool option for it.
I mean, I would even consider, and again, I haven't really thought too much about this yet, but like I would even consider just drawing like an OB line from the trees like down.
Mm.
So it's like, hey, if you want to do that, like you really got to like hyzer left. Like you can't just like throw it straight and go. And then
You
that'll
can't get bailed out by doing that,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll also separate that hole that people gonna go up like over the water, which was another one that like everybody was going out to the left, kind
Hole
of through.
16.
Yeah, everybody was going left like through like regular 14's fairway, and I was like, I never even thought of that. I was like, but go ahead because the shots that I saw going over there, you're still putting yourself 200 feet away from the pin with like a little water to your right, kind of thing. So
Yep.
the approach, like you weren't birdieing it, just like nobody like broke that hole, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That one I actually really liked that people were doing that, and I was like, cool. Like, I don't think I want to change anything there. The big,
I saw some cool backhands, and I just threw PD2 forehand and got a lot of success with that on that hole.
yeah,
I thought
that,
that route was that over the water route. I think maybe just with how it was playing and how rainy, and it looked so scary. Like I
yeah,
was like, there's no way I'm throwing it through that upper gap. And like I thought like my best chance was like throwing my stable driver as hard as I can just through that gap and like getting it to turn a tiny bit, and then like probably my destroyer, and then having it like just pan out and like kind of just hopefully fade left enough to be on bounds. But I didn't even want to try that during the tournament. I was like, especially just seeing everyone throw like to the left, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which I don't mind because again, I don't think it necessarily gives anybody the birdie. But I think if you want to get the birdie, like having that water carry, like is the play there. So I kind of just want to like leave that one alone. I think that one actually played really good. But yeah, the biggest change that I want to make there is figuring out a way for the final hole to be either at hole nine's basket or at the practice basket. because that way, like that final putt will be in front of the crowd and like a big group of people. So, um,
Mm.
the starting hole is kind of less important, especially for like the Mountain View Championships where there's going to be tee times. So you can be like, you can just send people out to like wherever they need to go, and they can start at whatever point as long as the course flows well and it finishes like at that point, because that final putt energy where you got the crowd of people like around you, even if it's like the tap in for the win or whatever it is, as soon as you tap that in and you have the parking lot of people like cheering you on kind of thing, it's a really good feeling, and like everybody deserves, like all the winners deserve that kind of thing. So
Yeah, because I think I was the only I was on hole 3 when you were on hole 18, and I
mhm.
was like, oh, that's the first card. Like they're finishing up right now, and then I saw you like tap it in, and I was like, oh, Kirby, woo! But it's
Yeah,
like that's just me out there.
you just have, it was like by the time you were there, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
And you can't expect people to come out into like the back of the course like to watch the final hole get tapped out, for a bunch of different divisions or anything like that. So I'm gonna kind of go out there a couple of times and like look at it and run through it and see if I can figure out a way to kind of get that over, to finish over there. I would say like the layout that we played for the Legend of the Log Lady will probably be like 85 to 90% of what the Mountain View Championship will look like. Like I said, a couple of like minor tweaks, and like the holds will all be the same, but they might not necessarily play in the same order, kind of thing. So, um, just something that I'm kind of like looking at and kind of thinking about and figuring out ways to
improve.
get the best course for like all divisions, which is actually proven to be like kind of difficult, because I did hear a lot of amateur divisions being like, yeah, there just wasn't many birdies for me out there. Which I kind of blame a little more on the weather, because when you look at the
Yeah,
like, hole 3, hole 4, hole 6, like those are all like pretty birdieable holes for like I would say a lot of divisions, especially like hole 4. Like it's so short, just kind of right there in front of you with the triple Mando.
yeah.
So I would say the weather definitely took away a lot. One thing I was really surprised about, I was looking at some stats. Hole 1 played as the easiest hole for like the first round, and it played as one of the easiest holes for the second round. And I was kind of like surprised by that. I thought it would play more difficult, but then when I was thinking about it, there was a really strong like left to right wind. So any shot that kind of got like up far enough was just getting like pushed back into like the pin. So I
Mm.
think that definitely like helped hole 1 actually. So um, yeah, just it was fun to do. Shout out to Max Spears and Tweeds Cafe for coming out and supporting the event. They donated gift cards to everybody, so definitely go to Tweeds and get yourself like a sandwich or something for lunch. Or they do really great breakfast. They're known for cherry pie and coffee, so at the very least, like maybe that's like a cool like after you play around at North Bend, you head over there, you have a piece of pie, you have a cup of coffee, and maybe some French fries, and you head out or something. So, but yeah, really big thank you to them. The pie.
Uh,
No, what's
yeah,
that?
the pie eating contest was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty interesting. Like you brought up like the birdies and stuff. Like I didn't get a single birdie on any of the new layout holes.
No. Oh, damn.
No, I only had I birdied um like old 17, so I think it's like 12 or 13.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got that one, like the
Mm,
raised basket. I got old 6 both times, like
mm.
the forehand. And then
What
I got
the layout hole 9, that little shorty like through the that like gap in the trees there.
yeah.
You didn't get that one?
No.
No.
That one, well, 'cause I throw a forehand through that and I had a couple good things, but just like the gap was just very
Yeah,
small, yeah.
yeah.
But
That one plays really well to the backhand putter shot, because if you like punch through there, you're probably gonna birdie it. And if you don't like punch, if you don't like make the gap clean, a lot of times when you hit that stuff, you kind of just like tumble to the other side of it. So that
I'm
one.
always scared with throwing putters on low ceilings because I feel like my miss always is letting it get higher up. So
Mhm.
like I think it made me I feel like if I practiced a backhand putter shot more on that, it would have been good. I was pretty happy I played a bunch of holes before and got warmed up, but I didn't actually get to that one.
Mhm.
But maybe practicing that more, maybe like even going up to like a rock or like my flippy rock and
Yeah.
throwing something like that could be a really good move. Maybe
Yeah.
like feel more confident with like a lower, flatter drive or something like that. But I enjoyed the layout. I think you always do an amazing job. I think you have like a really great mind with thinking about holes and thinking about different things like that. Laura Palmer was like the most fun I had last year at South Fork, and this is up there with that. So really great job, Kirby. And I know there was just a ton of people enjoying it, even if it's the harder layout. I didn't get a single birdie on any of those holes, and I still had a blast playing them, and kind of just made me more excited to go and attack them and try to get that the next go around.
Cool. I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. That's nice of you to say for sure. Yeah, shout out to all the guys in the pie eating contest too. That was a huge blast at the end. There's some really good pictures on the ECD Instagram there, so definitely go check those out. I know those guys had a good time, and the kid ended up winning like a $50 gift card and a disc, and handed out to second and third place. So yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, shout out to Luke Jett and Ben Wittenberg. I played both rounds with them at the tournament, and they both did the pie eating contest.
Yeah. I'm going to run through the winners of all the divisions real quick. So we'll start at the bottom and kind of work our way up. MA4 was Joel Gleghorn. Congratulations to him. MA3 was Ezra Harris. Nice job. FA2 is Caroline Edwards. MA2 is Sean Mans. MA70, John Etten. MA60, Chuck Knudsen. Love Chuck. That dude is so awesome. MA40 is Vic Branchiaco. No clue if I pronounced that right. MA1 was Mark Davis. MP40 was Robert Lawson. FPO was Vanessa Stephanie. And I won MPO because I had to.
Course record.
I told Brian ahead of time, I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, it is a layout that I created. I was like, I really feel like I have to win this one. Like, even for like my own like self-confidence kind of thing. So just feels good to kind of show up there and actually, succeed. So
Not only win, course record, we're feeling good.
that's silly. Yeah. That's always one of those like silly things like at Milo this year, like the person who shot the hottest round, they technically shot the course record because no one's ever played that.
Played that course.
Yeah, so like those kind of things are silly. Looking into next week, we have the SeaTac Showdown on Saturday, 2 rounds of OG18. Really looking forward to that. I think the course is pretty much set up the way it is. The only change I think that's going to happen is hole 18. Right now it's in the long par 4 position, and we're going to move it to the par 3 position. So other than that, I think the course is looking pretty good. Some of the fairways are like really well mowed, and cut, and yeah, looking forward to getting everybody out there. Yeah, 2 rounds of OG18, no problem, right?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I like SeaTac's one of my favorite courses. I call it like my dojo. It's like where I go to just get better. Yeah, a lot of these people in Seattle use it as that. But I love SeaTac. So I'm really excited for this event. Was able to get some stuff switched around at work so I can get it. So I'm excited for it.
Good. Yeah, and then as you alluded to a little earlier, we're going to be heading up to BC the week after that, and we're going to be playing Raptors Knoll. Ollie, have you been up there? Have you played Raptors? You haven't? Okay.
No, I've never been up there. That's why I'm like so excited. I'm taking a couple more days off of work next week, and so like probably Wednesday morning or Tuesday night, I'm gonna go drive up there and be ready to just go spend all day, basically Wednesday disc golfing and figuring it out, and then I'm staying with my buddy Nolan, so shout out to him in Bellingham, and he works for like the Blaine newspaper, so he's gonna be coming along and writing some stuff and
That's
just
cool.
like getting a vibe of like that area. And I was like telling him because he does sports writing and stuff, so thought it'd be a cool opportunity, like meet some cool like disc golfers and see what the scene is because they have such a prominent scene up there. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite tournaments of the year. Even though last year there was like 650 people playing, it was a little like too ambitious to some extent. I think this year's cut back to like 450 or something. So I think it's be really good. I love Raptors Knoll. Like I said, it's one of my favorite courses. It's definitely a place that I recommend a lot when people come to the shop and they're asking like, what are the best courses in the area? Like, well, Raptors Knoll isn't exactly in the area, but in a pretty quick drive. I think it's only like 2 hours from like South Seattle to get
if you're
up.
gonna go to Shelton, might as well you could go to Raptors Knoll. It's the same thing if you're in
It's like
Seattle.
Yeah, it's like the same distance drive kind of thing. So yeah, it's crazier that it's a shorter drive to get to Vancouver, BC, and Raptors Knoll than it is like Milo and Portland. you
Oh,
know.
100%. Yeah, it can be like an hour and a half to get up to Bellingham and up to the border and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
So
really chill.
yeah, super looking forward to it. I don't love. I've been pretty open about saying like I don't love Campbell Valley, the InDesign like horse farm or equestrian farm that they use. I think this year we're playing that round two. It's not my favorite course. It's just like wide open and big. And, my biggest complaint in the past was that they used that for round three and that we had to finish the last putt was there when you have this amazing course, like really
Property.
kind of thing. So I'm glad they made that change. That makes me pretty happy. Yeah, like I said, I really, really looking forward to Raptors Knoll and being up there. I'm going to get up there, I think, like Tuesday, and I'm going to play Raptors probably most Tuesday, probably Campbell on Wednesday, I think, maybe Thursday. I don't know. I think Campbell Valley is only open one day for practice.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and like everybody like bum rushes there. So like let's like
What's
coordinate like what day that's open and we'll see if we can get there like early and kind of beat the crowd cuz like
Yeah, I'm down.
dude, it's messy. There's like hole 2 is like kind of brutal there too because there's people try to get like smart and go like left like over the trees kind of thing and they end up like losing discs. So like hole
Mm.
kind of quick play and then there ends up being like a 5 card backup of people hanging out on hole 2 like during the practice rounds. Like it's kind of a mess at times. So we're going to move right along and we are going to get into our draft this week. So, kind of interesting. This is the first week that we've had a tie in the poll from the week before. So, I'm going to say tie goes to the winner of the week before that, which was you.
Yeah.
You get the choice of having either the first pick or the second two pick, or the second third pick. And this week we are drafting Pixar movies. This is something that we kind of chatted about after the show last week. This is something that I believe Ollie is pretty passionate about. So I think I'm about to get like smoked this week. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that because as you could think that it's this is where I'm not satisfying anyone. I could go the list in my head is kind of crazy. So we're gonna try to sway. I'm trying to like talk myself out of picking something else, but I do love Pixar movies so much.
I think my picks are going to show how old I am. I think like my picks are going to age me pretty well because like I literally haven't seen like I have a list of Pixar movies in front of me and looking at some of these like recent ones. Like
Never seen them.
I have no idea what Elemental is. I have no idea. I've never seen Inside Out. Like I just heard that's like a big movie, but like I don't know like
I got Inside Out 2 coming out, but I have not seen Inside Out. I'm not gonna lie.
Luca, Soul, Onward.
Luca's great. Luca's great. Tap into Luca.
Dude,
Luca's fire.
I've never seen Finding Dory. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, Finding Dory's cool too.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I had no idea those are like a thing.
Yeah.
So I think the Good Dinosaur. I don't know what that is. So
Good Dinosaur is the worst rated Pixar movie ever, and it's maybe one of my favorites. Honestly,
really?
Yeah, I'm in the theaters sobbing. I went to the theaters and watched that in theaters, and people are like, "This is the worst Pixar movie ever," and I'm like bawling, crying, like,
oh my god! All right, we
all
got
right,
this draft.
I'm taking the first pick. Last time I took the second and the third. My favorite movie of all time is going to be my first pick. It is going to be Pixar Cars. I am the biggest Cars enjoyer.
Yeah.
You could see me pull up to tournaments with my Cars Crocs. You can see on my disc golf bag at all times there's a Cars. It's super dirty now, but there's a Cars towel. Like I love, yeah. Maccabee, he always like we be sending Light McQueen memes back and forth to each other. Like,
nice.
Yeah, big Light McQueen fan.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. For the second and the third pick, I'm gonna pick Toy Story because that was like one of my first like Pixar films that I was like, hey, this is great. I was 5 years old when that movie came out, so like that was like a big deal. I remember when I was a kid, I had the toys from Toy Story because like Burger King would come out with them like in the Happy Meals, and then they would sell like regular size ones, like the RC car. I had a remote control like battery operated RC car that was like the same thing from Toy Story. Like
That's so sick.
Those are the best. Then I'm also gonna pick Ratatouille.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, that was on my list, but I had one that I like. It means so much to me, so I'm glad
yeah,
I get this.
yeah. Ratatouille is another one of my absolute favorites.
Oh, that's a good one.
That came out right when I was like getting into culinary and like starting to do culinary school. So the idea of having like a little mouse chef like on my hat was like,
Little Chef.
this is absurd and hilarious kind of thing. Like I've done Ratatouille as a special in this Italian restaurant, like at least it does like in Rhode Island, like at least a dozen times, just because of the movie. And people didn't exactly know what Ratatouille was, and I was like, all right, let's do this, you know.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah, what do you got for the number 4 pick?
Number 4 pick. This is a classic. Maybe probably one of my brother's favorites. My older brother. Well, I used to have just a bunch of like toys and stuffed animals, but A Bug's Life is one of my favorites. Bug's Life is so gas.
Yeah,
Uh,
you know that was like
so many classic characters. It's one of the classics. Cannot. That's why I thought when you were saying classic, I was like, oh no, it's gone. It's gone.
that's a good one. That was pretty high up on my list. So okay, I yeah, all right, cool.
I like have a vivid memory of it's. I was like 2 or 3 years old. It's like one of my oldest memories, and it's like us at Disneyland. Maybe I just like made this up by looking it up, and like you can make those memories up. But like,
Yeah,
I think I remember this,
that's
and I
really
think I remember seeing like the Bugs Life exhibit. I think, but I might have just like been old enough to like look up an image and be like, yeah, I remember that.
that's it. Do you remember the movie Ants?
Oh yeah.
Was like it was like Sylvester
Yep.
Stallone or something like that, dude. I
I have
used
a VHS.
dude those oh man those movies came out probably at like the same time. I love those. Yeah.
And then for the next pick, so that was my fourth, and for the fifth pick, we are gonna go with another one I saw in theaters. I threw up on my mom in the theaters because she tried to make me wear a turtleneck. The Incredibles.
Wow. Next pick.
So my mom tried to make me wear a turtleneck. I threw up on her. I took the turtleneck off. She had to leave and clean herself, and I sat in the theater with no shirt on watching the movie.
How did
But I love The Incredibles. That movie's gas.
how did the turtleneck lead to you puking?
I still, to this day, I don't really like wearing turtlenecks. It makes me feel like I'm choking. It feels like I'm choking. I'm
Yeah,
like,
crazy. Uh,
it's like a sensory thing. Like I cannot wear them.
dude, that poor woman. I'm sorry. Like wow, dude. Wow.
She watches all these, so shout out my mom. Love
Yeah.
you.
Hey, you're a saint, honestly. um. Hey, that was a couple of really good picks, and now I'm not sure what to do. I'm gonna go Monsters Inc. That's another really good one. That was kind of like when I was starting to get a little less into Pixar movies, I guess. I remember that my sister really liked that movie a lot, and so I saw a lot of kind of with her. Um,
Ooh,
and then
I think there's two big options for me.
I'm going Toy Story 2. So
Okay.
Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 2 on there. I think that's kind of how I would want to play this anyways, where like each movie would kind of represent its own, you know what I mean, kind of thing. So, yeah, Toy Story 2 is going to be my last pick.
All right. I got some huge honorable mentions, and like whether I go with it. Up is definitely one of the like
Yo,
I love Up is great. I don't know if it's in
oh,
my pick, but
the,
that's definitely one of my first honorable mentions.
the first 5 minutes of Up is the greatest movie ever made. Like that part with the old man and his wife is like the saddest thing on the face of the freaking planet.
I'm a crier, so
Yeah,
I'll just cry
that,
at movies.
that really gets me in the feels, bro.
Wally's who gets me in the field sometimes. I love a good Wally, but that's an honorable mention. And I
Yeah,
don't think you picked this, but Finding Nemo is going to be my last
yeah,
pick.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Finding Nemo is a classic, good
Yep.
one. Monsters Inc. is up there, is
I
a good
got my
one.
think on my list. Yeah,
Monsters Inc. I think
yeah,
could have been taking the Finding Nemo spot, but there's just so many like funny lines that I remember from
Mhm.
like a kid from Finding Nemo. They're
Uh,
like touch the butt, touch the butt.
the butt. Yeah. Nix is making his little weekly appearance.
Love it. But
Uh,
yeah, I think that's a solid list.
yeah,
I'm liking this.
honorable
I,
mention.
I
Toy
my
Story 3 too. That one made me cry because that ending in Toy Story 3 was like so incredibly sad.
I'm proud of myself because my list really was Cars, Cars 2, Cars 3. So the fact that I even gave you some variety, I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah,
But yeah, those are my three favorite movies by far.
nice.
Uh, yeah, for those that don't know, I'm a big Cars enjoyer.
Hmm.
But yeah, to wrap that up, nice little episode 11. I got A Lightning McQueen quote.
Nice.
Uh, 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 uh.
This is not Snicks cheesing it up for the camera, by the way. This is just kind of how he lives his everyday life. Is he needs to be on the little. I don't know if you can hear the purring.
All right. I know I made you feel that way before, but none of that matters because we're best friends. Lightning McQueen. Always take care of those that love you. Aim high, shoot low. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.
So yeah, thank you.